Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. And shalom to the Akim that are teaching his word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. This is Matthew 5:13. It says, Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savour, wherewithal shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. But the point I wanted to get at that is, ye are the salt of the earth, which is referring to Jake, to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. We're the salt of the earth, and all the nations on the earth know that, man. You know, they know that, hey, Jake, these people there's something special about them. You know, that's why they're the best at music, the entertainment business, the sports business, everything. You know, so let me just run this clip here. So, ye are the salt of the earth, referring to the children of Israel, man. The children of Israel add flavor onto this earth, man. Let me just play this clip here from Joe Rogan. So let's play this here, because they talk about basically athletes, man, and they referring to Jake. When you check it out, they make a distinction. Okay, if we'll play here. Right, let it play here. It should play. But they show you, they make a distinction.
Yeah, and rap is just one aspect of it, right? Yeah. I mean, think about it. Some of the very best stand-up comedians, some of the very best musicians.
Jazz, dude.
Yeah, and you think of the percentage of the population that's black.
12%.
The percentage that become elite professional athletes. Mm-hmm. I mean, what is the percentage of NBA players that are black? It's something crazy.
A lot of it's also just...
What is it, you think?
I don't know, but it's pretty high. I mean, there's
69%?
Probably something like that.
I don't know why I said that number. Jamie,
a lot of it might be just also that there are two avenues open to you in a lot of black communities. At least it's changing, but you know, it was sports and music, right?
Yeah, for sure. That probably plays a part in it, no doubt about it. But it's also, there's an extraordinary number of professional athletes, like elite athletes, that just happen to be black. Mm-hmm. And what is that, though? Is it genetic? Is it the environment they're coming from? I mean, it's a fascinating thing to be explored, because for all this talk of racism, if you just want to be really honest, there's a lot of African Americans that have some pretty phenomenal genetic traits. Mm-hmm. Like Carl, think of who's like Jamie.
Because Jake's created different to the other nations. That's why, man. The Most High made it that way, man. You know, that's why they excel in everything better than anyone else. Because it's in the spirit, man.
Who's like the biggest freak all-time athlete basketball player would it be?
Probably LeBron James.
LeBron James, probably, right? Sure. Yeah. And then you have like Michael Jordan, who's another freak athlete, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those white guys are like that?
It's tough, because people would argue like Larry Bird, but
Larry Bird was a phenomenal shooter, but he wasn't the kind of freak athlete LeBron is, or
Dr.
Jordan.
J,
when Jordan used to literally fly through the air.
Yeah.
There are a couple guys that can do things like that, but they don't have the overall skill package or whatever.
Well, so if you look at, there's a book called The Sports Gene that talks about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and if you look at Africa, it's probably the most genetically diverse part of the world, right? Mm. I mean, the Africans from the Biafra coast are totally different than the Africans from say, the highlands of Kenya or Ethiopia.
He's making a distinction here, because obviously Jake's mingled all over the earth, but obviously when Jake fled into Africa, predominantly went into the West Coast, man, and that's what he just said just there.
The Africans from the Sudan, the Dinka, and the Nua tend to be almost 7'6" sometimes. Certainly 7 feet is not that uncommon.
And many people don't realize Egypt's a part of Africa.
Very much so. I mean, the Tunisia, Morocco, that's more Arabic, right? But then you've got, I mean, it's fascinating. This is what really was fascinating. Let's go to Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they grow to an average height, beautiful people. There's a lot of trade in that side of the world. Eritrea, they've been renowned for their beauty. If you just step over the border, just go right to just one south or one north, you are going into Sudan or the South Sudan. Tallest people in the world. I mean, some of them can be like a fist off of 8 feet. That's where like Mole and those people came from. Okay, if you go just another country, just one country east, now you're in the Congo, and that's home to the pygmy. So you got the shortest people in the world in one country, and then just cross the border and you have the tallest in the world in that country. So Africa is insanely diverse. But if you look at the athletes with the most explosive power, and if you like that includes the fastest people in the world who are in Jamaica and who are, in the United States, genetically you can trace them back to a primarily you can trace them back to a very small part of Africa, according to this book, The Sports Gene, which is the Biafra Coast. And so that's where you'll see the fastest, most explosive people. However, having said that, you can hear Deion Sanders watching this white running back, 215 pounds. He ran a 4.35 40. And he was like, I can't say this on TV, but he can run. He can run. And it was true. It's like you haven't seen a white guy run a 4.35 in forever.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
There's
got to be some Viking genes floating around.
Sure, but I don't think there's any black cornerbacks in the NFL. Can you see any white cornerbacks?
It's just fascinating when you stop and think about just the sheer number of people involved in professional athletics. The sheer number.
Let me read this quick scripture here. Let me read this here. This is read this here. Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." And that's referring to Jake, man. Them guys are talking about in that show. They're talking about Jake, man. So that's why they do the things that they do, because it says, look, this is the Lord's people, the Israelites. So it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth," man. That's how you explain it, man. Because they're the chosen people of the Most High, man. The chosen people of the Lord. All right? Let me read this here. Let me put this here.
Of people that make a living playing a game with their body.
Yeah, but I don't know if that kind of athleticism helps you become a champion in tennis. Depends on the sport. It's sport specific, right?
Well, first of all, black people historically have not been into tennis.
Because they didn't have money. It's a rich man's sport.
Arthur Ashe was obviously a
Venus
tennis
Williams,
champion.
Serena Williams.
Yeah, but Arthur Ashe was like way before their time, right? So he was like the groundbreaker. But now I'm sure a lot of kids are growing up in nice communities. They have tennis clubs, stuff like that, African-American kids. But it's less a thing of that culture than a thing like there's not a lot of Italian-American tennis players either. You know what I'm saying? My people don't play tennis. They don't get into tennis. It's not an economic thing. It's just a cultural thing.
Golf is the same way.
Yeah, so when you see all these world-class tennis players, it just happen to be of the, rich upper crust.
Well, you need a coach. You need a lot of stuff with tennis,
It's a lot going on in tennis.
Yeah.
Plus, nobody gives a shit until you're really good. If you're kind of if you have a chance, he plays semi-pro ball for, maybe he'll get into the big leagues. But you don't, if you're I'm a semi-pro tennis player, get a fucking job, bitch.
Right.
What are you doing? You're playing tennis?
It takes a long time.
I used to know this dude who was a professional racquetball player, and that was the grindiest of all grinds. Because when I was 19, I recognized, oh no, this dude done painted himself into a corner. He's like a world champion. It's something nobody gives a fuck about.
I know, nobody cares.
Dude, nobody cared. And people would, treat him oh, poor guy. That was part of it. It was he's awesome, but poor guy. But,
I feel that way when I watch the biathlon in the Olympics and shit, or curling, or any of those sports.
Well, curling is, don't talk shit about curling in Newfoundland.
Regular motion.
What's a racist looking, and how do you see white superiority? How do racists deal with the fact that there's so many elite black athletes? What is a racist looking, and how do you see white superiority in that many elite
I know how
athletes?
I've heard guys in New York, white guys would always say this about I'd hear white dudes in New York talk about black and white athletes like this. They'd be like, well, he's a brother, so obviously he's going to be faster and stronger. But this kid over here has got heart and he's got smarts, and so the white guy apparently got heart, he had brain, whereas the black guy only has muscle. It was a clear indication that it was such a racist kind of way of delineating,
Well, it's also delusional because people want to assume that because someone has physical attributes, they don't have mental attributes. Exactly. They always want to say that, and sometimes it's true because sometimes when you have physical attributes, life is easier for you and you get soft. He's never been a knockout puncher. He's not the biggest guy. He's always in small for whatever division he's just all heart and will. And also, they love to win in an almost psychotic way.
Yeah, extreme winners are that way.
Yeah, that whole thing, that extreme winners, is why we're here, folks. It's why it's so compelling. All the different shit that's happened in between it. Just think about 30 years ago. That's nothing. That just happened. People who lived here and rode wagons across the country just 200 years ago. That's nothing. That just happened.
Read the scripture here. This is Deuteronomy. And what the point is that basically they were really talking about Jake being special pretty much, man. And that's on a low level. But the Lord's, when Yahweh Shai comes back and establishes the kingdom of heaven, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we're going to be ruling the earth again, man. So we're going to be put back on a high level, man. Not just no goddamn sports, man. We're going to be ruling the earth as kings and priests, man. Governing the earth via the law. By the Most High's laws, man. What he said, how he said we're supposed to govern the earth. So it's Deuteronomy 32:8. It says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, according to the number of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. It says, for the Lord's portion is his people, Jake, and Jacob is a lot of his inheritance, man. That's why Jake do the special things that they do today, even on a low level. But the time's coming where we're gonna rule the earth again, man, through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And in that day ain't just gonna be, sports stars, man, that can run fast and dunk balls, kick foot, do mad things with footballs, Brazilians or whatever. We're gonna be sitting on the thrones, man, and ruling the earth in righteousness, man. All right, and we're gonna be put back in our right position, man. Because now they're getting respect for being sports stars or whatever. But that's nothing compared to being a king on a throne, man, and a priest, man, for the Lord. All right, and that's what it's gonna go back to being, man. And the whole earth is gonna know that these are the chosen people. All right. So with that, I'm just gonna say, these surely are the chosen people when we're put back into the power, man. So with that, I'm just gonna say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.